Council, will you report out, please?
Yes, thank you, Director Clark. The Board of Directors met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 with respect to two pending workers' compensation claims. The first workers' compensation claim involved a retired employee, Barry Flores. The board voted by a vote of 5-0 to give the district's third-party administrator authority to settle the workers' compensation claim of Mr. Flores. Absent from the vote were Directors Gould, Kelly, Jones, and Orzali. The second claim that was considered by the board was with respect to retired employee Louis Motto. The board voted by a vote of 5-0 to provide the district's third-party administrator with authority to settle Mr. Motto's pending workers' compensation claim. Absent from the vote were Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Next, we'll go to the action items, and first item on the agenda and the action agenda would be a resolution redistricting of divisional election boundaries, and we have a presentation.
Thank you. In your agenda, you have a staff report on page 16, and according to state law, the district division boundaries are required to be adjusted as a result of the 2010 census so that each division is equal in population as far as practicable. A special board workshop meeting was held January 10th, 2012 to review the statistical information, and a proposed map was referred to the regular board meeting of January 12th. At that meeting, action was taken to approve the proposed map and direct staff to prepare the necessary documents and resolution to officially adopt the final map. And that is the final map that is being displayed on the screen there. And if anybody would like to see anything particular, we're prepared to show you anything or break it down by the different divisions. And this is the final action that's needed in the redistricting process. Recommendation is to adopt the resolution for the adjustment of the division boundaries in accordance with the May 2012 final district and election boundary map of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. You will see just a slight change. The maps that probably are shown in your agenda reflect April 2012, but due to the fact that some of our meetings were postponed, it is now reflecting May 2012 as of the time it will be adopted.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion by Director Monk and a second by Director Scheidegger. Madam Clerk, will you call a roll, please?
Director Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Next, we thank you, Madam Clerk. The next we have a second item is a resolution authorizing a contract for services with SST Benefits Consultant Services regarding the District's 457 Deferred Compensation Plan, and we have a presentation by Dave Smith.
Good evening. My name is Dave Smith. I'm a retired employee. I am currently the chairman of the Deferred Compensation Committee. We are members that are appointed by you folks to represent you in this employee benefit that is voluntary and is self-funded. And at this point in time, we have gone out to bid on a request for formal proposal for a consultant. The consultant keeps us legal with the 457 laws, the IRS, and also assists us with representing the employees with the insurance company who is the provider. So we've gone out to bid. We had 4 bidders give us a proposal, and we have selected SST, and we are recommending that you approve SST as our consultant for the next 5 years.
Do we have any questions of Mr. Smith? Okay. Go ahead, Derek.
Just from my understanding, I don't know exactly, this is new to me, so I need some clarification on this. Is it that you cannot just go out and have like a PERS or nationwide and offer that 457 plan to them? You have to have a committee and a consultant also, or can they act as a consultant for themselves?
The IRS code says that you will have a committee. Okay, the committee can be 1 person, 3 person. In our case, we have 9 people. And then what you would have is lay people like myself that are educated. I've been doing this for about 20 years. But still, you would have firefighters or administrative personnel going out to bid with a multi-billion-dollar insurance company, nationwide, Fireman's Fund, so on, the Hartford, PERS. And you really don't want lay people going out and on an $80 million program and going in uneducated without somebody that keeps you legal, pits these companies against themselves in a bidding process so that we can get the cheapest price we can for our employees. We can have 1 provider, we can have 50, but we elect to have 1 because it's a much easier bookkeeping process. We have nationwide at this time, and their contract expires in 2014.
Go ahead.
In 2000, we had
About 9 vendors
9 vendors.
due to mergers.
So we had very little buying power. We were spread out all over the table. We elected then to find a consultant to help us clean up what we had. Didn't want to rely on the third-party administrators to help eliminate third-party administrators. We built in what we call it, cost sharing with
Revenue sharing.
revenue sharing with the third-party administrator, so they cover the cost of the consultant and the expense to go out to bid later on for another third-party consultant. So the body sees no expense to the district for any of the maintenance of the program. Fortunately for us, we have a history with SST benefits, a good history, and they were very successful in the bidding process. So that's where we are tonight.
So the total cost is $130,000 over the 5-year period?
That's what we estimate we're going to spend. It's on an as-needed basis. We have revenue sharing of $40,000 a year, and we have a budget that we set up. And we have money set aside. Our biggest expense is when we do go out to bid in 2014 for a TPA, a third-party administrator. That is a big, drawn-out, 9-month process to dot all your I's and cross your T's, make it legal, and put these insurance companies in a bidding process against themselves so that you get the best cost for our employees.
And how is that cost distributed amongst the members of the plan? As far as is it by per member, or is it by shares, or the amount of value that they have in the fund? So somebody with, let's say, $300,000 is paying more than the firefighter that just got hired?
It's a technical process, but each investment has its own expense ratios. There's probably 30 core investments, and most of them are mutual funds. And the mutual fund pays Nationwide to run the program, and Nationwide pays us to cover our expenses. So yes, a person that has $100,000 is going to pay more than a person that has $20,000. That answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. Thanks.
Any other questions? We have a motion by Director Scheidegger.
Second it.
A second by Director Pearson. Will you call the roll, please?
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Kelly. Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors absent, Gould, Kelly, Orzali, Jones. Motion carries.
All right. Next we have, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith. Next we have we have Ms. McFarland and Mr. Campo come up, and we have a resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to execute an agreement with NBS for cost allocation plan, capital facilities fees, and Special Tax Administration financial services. Ms. McFarland.
Rhonda McFarland here, Chief Financial Officer. Financial Division had the need for 3 separate consulting projects, and as kind of an economies of scale and efficiency on our part, we went ahead and did a request for proposal and sent it out to 6 qualified firms, and the firms were allowed to bid on any or all of the 3 consulting projects that we needed, and I'll just briefly describe what they are. A very important one to us is a cost allocation plan development. The last time we had done that is 2005. It helps us allocate our support services and so forth so that we can support the fees that we have in place, determine our actual costs for our various programs, and there's ability, when available, to garner more grant money when we can recover our indirect costs. So that was one important project. The second one is our capital facility fees or our developer fees. We need to look at our capital costs and determine if the fees that we're charging now are supported by going forward. They were at the time they were developed, but things change. So we'll be looking at that again. And then the third consulting project, based on my internal evaluation, it was more cost-effective to bring a third-party administrator in to administer the Slough House special tax. And so what that involves is determining the charges to the various parcels in that area. They will also be the 800 number that people call if they have questions on their bill. And so that will be much more cost-efficient than having our staff do that. And so those were the 3 items. We had 4 proposals returned. In one case, 2 of the people that we had sent proposals to collaborated with one another. And Ken Campo and myself reviewed the RFPs, and the criteria that we looked at, as I described in the summary, was responsiveness to the RFP, strategic partner fit, experience, and cost. And based on those criteria, we're recommending that all 3 contracts go to NBS. On page 62 is a description of the fiscal impact, the cost allocation plan cost of just over $16,000, the capital facility fee update of just under $30,000, and the special tax administration just under $5,000. I would just request that you adopt the resolution to enable me to enter the contracts with MBS.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McFarland. I noticed Chief Wells is up there too, but Mr. Ken Campos.
Yeah, I'm just up here. I'm doing my Ken Campo impression.
Oh, okay.
However, yeah,
No,
I'll have a hard time with that one. No, I was just up here if you had any further questions.
I don't want to mislead the public.
Thank
You're Ken Campo. Director Scheidegger.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to support this resolution, but I want to point out to whoever might be watching this, one of the reasons, if you just look on page 4 of the NBS proposal, one of the things they're doing is talking about comparison of proposed fees with 7 neighboring jurisdictions. I just think that's good government. I think it's the sort of thing that we're doing now as we conduct our business, and I'm proud of it. I just want to make a point of it. Thank you.
Director Newcomer.
I have a question on, since the Special Tax Administration is an ongoing process, is this multi-year?
I believe that we set the proposal up for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. McFarland, are you finished? Are you through? Are you finished? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you were looking up something. Are there any other questions? There are no other questions. We have a motion by Director Scheidegger and a second by Director Monk. Charlotte, will you call the roll, please?
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Absent. Gould, Kelly, Barzali, and Jones. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McFarland and Chief Wells. Next item is a bid award for an iPad-based electronic patient care reporting system, or EPCR. And we have Mr. Daniels, Chief Daniels. And Mo Johnson.
Good evening, Board of Directors, Chief Holbrook, Board Clerk Tilson. I'm Assistant Chief Bill Daniels with the EMS Division. I have with me our EPCR Decision Group Chair, Maurice Johnson. I'm going to be giving you a highlights of a staff report regarding an iPad-based electronic care reporting solution, also known as EPCR. Captain Johnson, hopefully we'll be able, between both of us, be able to answer questions you may have regarding the proposal. Staff proposes that the Metropolitan Fire District purchase and implement an electronic patient care reporting system in order to streamline operations and reduce costs associated with the documentation and billing process of emergency medical calls for service. Staff has previously discussed with the board the need to modernize the district's patient care reporting and billing system. Currently, emergency medical response personnel manually complete patient care reports, also known as PCRs, utilizing paper NCR forms. Additionally, administrative staff spend a significant amount of time reviewing the handwritten medical reports in order to extract billing information, which further delays the billing process. Transitioning to an automated system would greatly reduce the staff time involved in the process, but also increase the accuracy of the billing information and reduce the time it takes to recover the cost to provide emergency medical services. An EPCR decision group was established to make recommendations regarding the automated PCR process. Captain Maurice Johnson served as the chair of the group. The group met over 2 months and made a recommendation on an iPad-based EPCR system. The group further developed a product and process specifications in order to conduct a formal bid process for the preferred system. After reviewing a number of options for the EPCR system, the EPCR decision group determined that the new iPad would be the preferred to a laptop PCR in terms of function as well as price. The total number of iPads required for the EPCR system is 81. It's going to be one for each line apparatus, battalion chief, as well as EMS division. The new iPad cost $730 each. We would need 81 of those for a total of $59,130. The cases, charges, and accessories associated with the iPads adds an additional $9,253 to the above cost. The mobile data management software needed to support the iPad infrastructure is an additional $2,000, and the extended warranty cost adds another $8,000 to provide coverage for the expected 3-year life of the device. Formal proposal for the EPCR solution. On April 16th, 2012, the decision group requested a formal bid for proposal for the iPad-based EPCR system. The RFP was sent to 7 EPCR vendors with a follow-up phone call to verify they were aware of the RFP. 2 companies submitted a proposal. They were Forte Holdings, also known as IPCR, and Zoll. The decision group evaluated both systems. The 2 vendors were requested to demonstrate their product on May 1st, 2012. They were evaluated on responsiveness to the RFP and component compliance with 32 specifications identified in the RFP. A summary of the key compliance features include compatibility with the new iPad, NMSIS and HIPAA compliant, integration to our firehouse reporting system, as well as our cardiac monitors, automated billing and data integration, as well as training support. Forte Holdings Incorporated met all 32 specifications, while Zoe met 14 of the 32 specifications outlined in the RFP. The move to EPCR required contract with the software vendor and the purchase of a mobile computer equipment. Cost of the service agreement with Forte Holdings Incorporated is $147,050 for the first year and $112,050 annually thereafter. The hardware and accessory cost is approximately $79,100 and will be acquired under a master purchase agreement for computer equipment and will be subject to a separate board action. The fiscal impact is the award to contract Forte Holdings Incorporated for EPCR solution. Contract again for the first year, that's $147,050. Second year, $112,050. The total cost for EPCR software and hardware is approximately $226,150 for the first year and $112,050 for the second year. Staff recommends the district award the RFP for the EPCR solution to Forte Holdings Incorporated. That's all I have right now. Do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions for the Chief?
Yeah, I got it. One question. I understand fire prevention's looking at an iPad for their inspection program too. Is the capacity of these iPads such that it will accommodate both? Was that a consideration in this?
Yes, we moved forward with the group. The decision was to place the firehouse on iPads and as well as to PUD EPCR, so we have a single platform that we're working from to reduce costs and duplication.
Okay, so it will accommodate the inspection program? Okay. I didn't want us having to buy an additional set of iPads later, so.
I would agree with you.
Pearson, you had a question.
Yeah, this is to Kevin Johnson there. You actually had them demonstrate this and it was actually able to function. I know other times people have said that their software will integrate with our current software and it's going to work wonderful. And then you buy the plan and they never get to where they talk each other. But they actually were able to demonstrate that?
Yes, actually on the vendor demonstration days, we've had both companies come down and they actually showed exactly what the programs would do. So we got an opportunity, all the committee members with their iPads and the programs loaded to kind of run through them and get the presentation on both. Forte Holding with the IPCR program, like we said, Chief said, they met all 32 of the 32 feature points that we were looking for, and it was functional.
Well, I commend your group for doing it. I mean, that really takes the guesswork out of it. That's putting that's saving us money.
The fact that it's a local company is certainly a benefit as well.
That's a bonus right there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Director Scheidegger.
I'm sure this is an easy question, Chief. This is a 3-year program, and we have 2 years of service. The first year is covered under warranty.
The first year we're going to have to pay out of pocket for the. Each year we're going to be paying for the Forte Holdings service agreement. It's $147,050. That's for the service, basically the software and the support.
For the 3 years.
That's for the first year, and then $112,050 thereafter, and the third year will be $112,050 for that third year.
Okay, it says second year here. That's why I was
right.
Okay, I just want to make sure all.
Yeah, no, that's and you need to. I totally agree with you.
Thank you.
All right, Director Newcomer.
Did we look at it getting any grant money for the program, or is there nothing available?
I wasn't able to find any grant money. We had looked at potentially doing that on the AFG grant this past year, but decided to go with cardiac monitors because it was a higher dollar amount. That was $1.75 million versus basically $250,000. So.
Any further questions? No further questions. We need a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve staff recommendation.
We have a motion by Director Pearson.
I'll second it.
It's second by Director Scheidegger. Charlotte, call the roll, please.
Directors Monk,
Aye.
Newcomer,
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Thank you, Chief and Captain, for that presentation.
Thank you, Board of Directors. I would like to make one point that in the audience is Ted Nugent, or excuse me, Ted Nugent. Dion Nugent.
He didn't practice that.
Didn't practice that one. Dion Nugent from Forte Holdings, so I won't live that one down for quite a while. And his group here, so thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, or the action item agenda, we have a presentation by Deputy Chief Wells, and it's revisions to current board policy. Alternative work schedules policy number 21.006.02, formerly number 122.01.
Good evening, Directors. Board Clerk Tilson. Mark Wells, Deputy Chief of Administration. Tonight, before you is we met with the Policy Committee earlier this evening, and this is a policy that we have been working on actually since February. The last revision to this policy was in 1996, and it's the alternative work schedules, and we've gone through the process in the Policy Committee, and as you'll see in the document, all the new language is in yellow, and so we've had a considerable amount of changes over time to clarify this document and really to streamline it into a more usable platform that we can work off. So tonight my recommendation, or I'm asking for approval of this policy because it's a board policy coming through this body. And if you have any questions or any clarifications or any concerns on the policy, I'd be welcome to address any of those.
Anything controversial there? Or anything? Okay, we need a motion.
Policy modification.
We have a motion by Director Newcomer and a second by Director Monk. Roll, please.
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Thank you, Chief Wells. Next, we have item number 6, a resolution authorizing multiple award schedule for construction manager at risk, and we will have Deputy Chief Aaron up.
Good evening,
Welcome.
everyone. Deputy Chief Dwayne Aaron, Support Services. Before you is a resolution for the selection of construction manager at risk. The completion of a request for formal proposal process and recommendation for approval of selected firms for construction manager at risk. On February 28th, 2012, our staff released a request for formal proposal for construction manager at risk services. This proposal was posted on the district's website, and public notices were posted as prescribed by district policy. Submittals from interested companies were to be submitted to me no later than 4 p.m. on March 12th. 6 submittals were received by the deadline contained in the SOQ, and on March 13th, the 6 submissions were opened and reviewed for compliance. The 6 firms are Block Construction, Auto Construction, Robelin Construction, Rudolph and Sletton, Turner Construction, and Vanner Construction. The review panel consisted of myself, Mark Jones, our logistics manager, and also our purchasing manager, and Steve Borglin, my facilities supervisor. We completed a thorough review and scoring of the submittals that should be in your packet, known as Attachment A. Based on that scoring, it's recommended that all 6 companies receive board approval to be listed as firms available to us for construction manager at risk services. If you refer to Attachment A, just quickly, the items that we scored the firms on were the general information of the firms, the experience that each of the firms has, the experience of their personnel, their approach to services such as the one that we've requested for Things such as our tenant improvement work on the other side of the hallway upstairs for our fire prevention area and our boardroom, as well as fire station construction or any other tenant improvement or construction services that we might need over a 5-year period, because that's the recommended term of this contract, and a range of each of their firm's fees for these services. Upon approval by the board, these firms will have the ability to bid as the district's construction manager at risk for various construction projects. This approved list will remain in effect for an initial period not to exceed 5 years, with an option to extend for not more than 2 additional years. The district reserves the right to remove any of the firms from the approved list for lack of performance, and the right to not use a construction manager at risk on any particular construction project, such as what we did on phase 1 and 2 of the Armstrong building. The district has ongoing needs for construction manager at risk services for the development of tenant improvements and new construction at various sites throughout the district that include but are not limited to construction of new fire stations and related facilities, renovation of existing fire stations and related facilities, the development of our training facilities, improvements on existing properties, and solar or green energy installations on our facilities. Funding for these projects comes from various sources that are included but not limited to the California Fire and Rescue Training Authority, our capital facilities funding, any potential grant funding, potential bonds, and the district's future budget. The fiscal impact, the staff anticipates significant savings in our time and cost by establishing a multi-firm list to bid construction manager at risk services. This will provide for the ability to identify and reduce delays in project completion, reducing errors and confusion during the construction process, and eliminate wasted management time coordinating construction projects, which can be more efficiently accomplished through a construction manager at risk. We recommend approval and adoption of this resolution, and I'll take any questions or comments that you have.
Questions?
Okay. Chief Aaron, we have 6 firms on your list. I see quite a difference in scoring on these, and it's your intention to go ahead and put all 6 on the vendor list?
It is. Okay. Quite frankly, I'll speak candidly about the 6 firms. The lowest scoring firm, Banner Construction, there was debate on whether to include them on this list, quite frankly, and we decided to include all 6 firms. And I'll defer to our general counsel that we can opt not to use any or all of the 6, correct?
What the district would be doing here is just creating a list in the event of future construction where you need a construction manager, so that the management does not have to come back and seek approval every time a project happens to say, will you approve? We've gone through the process, we'd like you to approve so-and-so company to be the construction manager. This gives them a list from which to choose after they seek bids from those particular firms. There's no requirement that they choose any particular firm. They're entitled to look at the firm and say, you know what, I think based upon this particular construction project and the background and experience, this firm might be the better firm to use. And it gives the flexibility of senior management to do that. It's not unlike the process that you went through for legal counsel, where there's an approved list, so that if the district needs legal advice, say on a specialized matter involving a pension or taxation, it gave the authority to the chief to go out and seek that advice so they wouldn't have to come back every time that need arises. Similarly, that's what's occurring here by way of the construction management list.
Any other questions? Okay, we need a motion.
I would make a motion that we adopt a resolution before us.
We have a motion by Director Newcomer and a second by Director Scheidegger. Roll call, please.
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors absent, Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones. Motion passes.
Okay, next we have a selection of construction manager at risk for Armstrong Building, and we have another presentation by Chief Aaron.
Thank you, Director. And this is a separate yet related topic. This is for concerning the competitive bidding requirements for the tenant improvements at Armstrong, second floor, east wing, specifically the Fire Prevention Bureau and the boardroom. The topic is just that, and the district is currently planning 2 separate construction projects located in the east end of the second floor of the district's headquarters at 10545 Armstrong Avenue, Mather, California. 2 projects include, number 1, a federal grant-funded project to install an exercise simulation center for the training and exercise of emergency operations personnel, command staff, and public officials. Second project is the tenant improvements to provide office space for the district's Fire Prevention Bureau personnel and public assembly space large enough to accommodate the district's board meetings. The federal grant-funded project is a turnkey project whereby the district enters into a fixed-price contract and the vendor delivers the project ready to use. The second project is to develop space for the district's regular business needs and is subject to public contracting law, including bidding requirements. In planning the projects, an issue has developed regarding the district obligation to select contractors competitively on the project that is not being completed by the federally funded vendor as a turnkey. The 2 projects discussed above are not only adjacent to one another, they actually overlap in several aspects. Complicating the matter, the vendor for the turnkey project has already selected a contractor to complete the construction of the emergency simulator center project. Understanding the district's obligations under the public contracting law and at the same time striving to successfully deliver the 2 projects and maximize the resources available, staff has sought out a solution from professionals familiar with the issue. So this was a problem for me. I said, how are we going to do this? This is going to be a mess if we end up with 2 separate contractors working on the same section of the building. They're going to be pointing fingers at each other when something goes wrong. So I went to our architectural firm, MFDB, and I spoke to them about it. They agreed wholeheartedly, and I spoke to our general counsel about it. And our general counsel said, show me some proof. Give me some written documentation, some reasoning why this is going to be a problem. So our architect, which has been involved, MFDB Architects Incorporated, has been involved in the design and build out of the Metro Fire tenant improvement work on the second floor west wing, the part that's already completed. They have also been responsible for the subsequent conceptual space planning for the 2 additional projects that will occupy the east wing of the second floor. Staff asked Tyler Babcock, MFD Architects principal, to draft a letter outlining their concerns when utilizing 2 separate contractors for 2 adjacent projects. The letter from MFDB is attached in your packet. Also, Greg O'Day from Longyear, O'Day and Lavra, the district's general counsel, previously advised our staff that the public contracting code requires construction projects such as this to advertise for competitive bids unless exceptions exist. Once Mr. O'Day reviewed the letter from Mr. Babcock, he issued a written legal opinion that the required exception to the competitive bidding requirements does indeed exist, permitting the district to utilize the same contractor as the grant-funded EOC simulation project, which is block construction. The letter from Mr. O'Day from Longyear, O'Day and Lavra is also attached in your packet. Both very well-written documents, if I might say so myself. They really summarize the issues. In summary, based on the professional opinions requested from MFD Architects and the district's general counsel, it's been determined that sufficient reasons exist to exempt the fire prevention and boardroom project from competitive bidding. Staff anticipates significant savings in staff time and associated costs by utilizing only 1 firm for both construction projects, in addition to avoiding the pitfalls and potential costs that are cited in the attached letters. Staff recommends approval of the selection of block construction for the 2 additional construction projects at the Armstrong building. I'll take any questions or comments.
A question by Director Scheidegger.
Chief Aaron, while I always appreciate your fine analysis, and this is certainly indicative of that, I think the attachments of the architect and the attorney make the case very clearly.
Absolutely.
So I'll move
Very well done.
the issue.
It's well done, and very, it's wise to do it that way. Because I could see that all the chaos and stuff going on if we were to do it any other way. We have a motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Director Scheidegger, and we have a second by Director Newcomer. Roll, please.
Directors Monk,
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Absent Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good job. Next, we remember we have skipped item 8, so we're going to go to item 9. Item 8 has been moved to the end of the agenda of action items. The next is a resolution accepting assistance to firefighter grant funding for purchase of cardiac monitors and defibrillators. We have a presentation by Mr. Davis.
Thank you very much. Directors Larry Davis, Chief Development Officer. The item in front of you is a resolution to accept the $737,500 in assistance to firefighter grant funding for the district defibrillators. I'd like to apologize right off the top. The very first date on here is wrong. It says April 26, 2012. It was actually around August of 2011 that this application went in. So I just want to clarify that right at the very beginning. So the project is the district submitted an application in the 2011 round. Actually, we submitted one application, but this year the Assistance to Firefighter Grant Program changed the rules and allowed you to submit multiple projects. So you could submit as many projects as you wanted. However, we could only be awarded $1.75 million regardless of how many projects we put in. And this is a new thing, and took a little bit of adjusting, to figure this out. However, our maximum award for a district our size is $1,750,000. But we submitted two applications. One, a $2.1 million application for 75 cardiac monitors for the district, and the other was $374,000 for a wellness and fitness program. These projects were scored independently, separate from each other, and we were awarded both projects. We were successful in both applications, both projects. The problem is we were awarded $2.5 million in projects, but only $1.75 million in funding. And so this results in what's called an overmatch requirement. The program typically has an 80-20 cash match requirement. So in this case, we were actually going to be responsible for about a 30%, cash match. And that amount almost was, well, it was more than the fitness and wellness program. And so we would be carrying out the fitness and wellness program whether we got funding for it or not, but being responsible for all the grant requirements. So we thought it prudent to decline the wellness and fitness program and accept the defibrillator project, and then resubmit this year in 2012 for the wellness and fitness program. It scored very well according to the grant folks at AFG, and senses it should score again very well in the 2012 round, which is coming up shortly. Matter of fact, the district is hosting a workshop for the AFG program at the end of the month. And so that's the lead up to the application process. So the net result is we're going to accept the funding for the defibrillator project only, and we've already declined, and our amendment has been accepted. That's the April 26th date. April 26th, we were informed that we were relieved of the obligation to deliver the wellness program, and however, our grant award amount was reduced by, a few $1,000s in order to balance it all out. So I think net, it's a better project and a better financial situation for the district, and it does result in our defibrillator program moving forward as planned.
Director Monk.
Chief, is there a matching fund or a contribution that we're going to have to come up with for this grant?
Yes.
434? And that's coming from?
From, Yeah, I think it's capital facilities, the capital facilities fees, yeah.
But we were gonna have to, excuse me, can I-
Go ahead.
that 454, I mean, these monitors that we are replacing, it was getting close to not being an option, right? I mean, we were gonna have to replace them, so we were gonna either spend the $2 million to replace them, irregardless, right? And then, but now we're getting that down to basically 434,000, right?
Correct, Director. Your monitors in this district are about 12 years old at this time and far exceeded their life capacity.
What is the life on it? Is it 12 or is it 10? 7?
Oh.
We've been lucky.
Yeah, this was actually a very easy application to write. We had a very strong need statement.
No kidding.
The useful life was 7 years and ours averaged 11 years. So it was a very easy application to write from that perspective.
Really squeezed that out of it. Director Scheidegger next.
Mr. Davis, I love the grant, and congratulations to you on another successful grant program that really helps this department. But I have a question. I'm not familiar with this term overmatch, and I think you've just explained it. I just want to make sure I'm on the right lap here. Basically, what that is there's a limit based on the size of the jurisdiction for the amount of the award, and that's why we're at a 31% match as opposed to a 20%.
Correct.
We exceed, for the size of our population, for our district, we
Right.
exceed the amount of the grant, so we have to come up with that extra 11%.
Yes, and this is new for AFG this year. This was the first time.
I've never heard of that.
Normally, they say your maximum grant award is, and you know that, it's 1.75 million, and you can submit one project, you're limited to one project. This year, they said, submit all the projects you want, and however, if you are award, and there's some benefit to that. I mean, we were fortunate that we had both of our projects funded. If we, submitted more projects, we could have had even more projects funded, but we would still be restricted to that 1.75 million. So it puts us in a position of having to pick between successful projects.
And is this going to be an ongoing level, and will this be adjusted on an annual basis?
Annual.
Will we be advised?
It's,
Questions?
the AFG grant has been very stable over the years. This was the first year that they allowed the multiple projects. And so there's no way to know, and the good news, bad news is we get about 30 days notice to make the adjustment. So this year, we already had, the defibrillator project was pretty much in the can, and we were ready to submit this. We were all prepared and feeling good about it. And then this new rule came in that allowed multiple projects. And so actually this is a district-specific grant application that we submitted. We also submitted a regional grant application at the same time, and we were successful in that award too. You'll be seeing that next week, next board meeting, or here coming up shortly. We were successful in the regional application also.
But that doesn't affect this cap.
That doesn't. That's a separate one. That's a separate one. So, to answer your question, that's what resulted in the overmatch, and in that we were required to submit, because we were awarded such a large amount, we were required to match greater than the 20%.
But it's important to note that, it was inevitable for us to have to incur this expense. We're helping it out with the federal funds. In other words, we're going to have to replace these equipment items anyway.
Yeah, the kind of the plan, and our hope was to submit the defibrillator grant, because we had that strong need. We just had an opportunity to submit 2 projects rather than 1, and we were successful in both projects, which that's good too. But it did put us in a position of having to choose between the 2 of them, or our match would be onerous.
Thank you.
Director Newcomer and then Director Monk.
Mr. Davis, we don't run any risk with AFG pulling one of our requests and holding it for next year. They're fine with that process.
Yeah, they've already approved it. We submitted a request for that, and they've approved that amendment. So I wanted, that's part of why we've had this award for a while, but we've been sorting this out, and I wanted to be able to answer that question. Is we're not at any risk of losing anything, and the actual dollar amounts are what you see in the staff report.
Very good.
Yeah, I wanted to point out something for the people that are watching us at home. This board, this district, is taking its fiduciary responsibility very seriously. In this particular case, this is an excellent example that since Chief Davis has come on, here we've got cardiac monitors that are way past their life expectancy or where we could reasonably expect that they would be and have to be replaced. And since Chief Davis was added to our staff in doing the grant research and grant applications and everything, has been successful in finding assistance, whether it's state, federal, or wherever we can find it, to be able to help us cut our cost and help us limit the expenses for this district. So, Chief, I know it means some late night work, but it's only for a short period of time before the things are due. But I want you to know that we really appreciate the efforts of helping us out, because it does help our budget and does help us all the way around. So,
thank you very much. It's very much a team effort. There's a lot of folks that I'm up here at the podium, but there's a lot of staff work through all the divisions that got this to be successful. It's very much a team sport.
Okay.
But thank you.
Thank you, Larry. And congratulations on your promotion to chief. Yeah. Anyway.
I try.
No further questions.
Mr. President, I would move that we adopt the grant acceptance resolution.
We have a motion by Director Newcomer and a second by Director Monk. Charlotte?
I keep trying.
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Thanks again, Larry.
Thank
Great
you.
job. Okay. All right. Next item we'll deal with is the resolution, industrial disability retirement. We actually discussed that in closed session, and now we just need to vote on it.
Make a motion.
We have a motion by Director Pearson.
Second.
Second by Director Monk. Roll call, please.
Director Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Hey, finally, the last action item will be resolution of OPEB contract agreement establishing a California Employees Retiree Benefit CERBT trust with CalPERS. And we have a presentation by Chief Wells and our Chief Financial Officer.
Good evening again. Mark Wells, Deputy Chief Administration, and CFO Rhonda McFarland. Tonight we're here to talk about establishing a California Employers Retiree Benefit Trust with CalPERS. In order to establish this trust account with CalPERS, the Board of Directors needs to approve the contract agreement and the delegation of authority to request disbursements. Effective of March 8th of this last March 8th, 2012, senior management started our contributions of $100 monthly towards other post-employment benefits, or OPEB. On July 1st of this year, our cost-sharing contributions for our miscellaneous employees and all of our employees for that matter, will reach 12%. And the maximum for miscellaneous employees cannot exceed 10.595%, leaving a balance of 1.405% that we will be investing into OPEB as well. So we want to establish this California Employers Retirement Benefit Trust with CalPERS in order to start investing these employees' contributions in the trust. So tonight, our recommendation is that the board adopt the attached agreement and election to pre-fund other post-employment benefits through CalPERS, giving the authority to the fire chief and the chief financial officer to request disbursements from the OPEB pre-funding plan on behalf of Metro Fire. We'd entertain any questions.
We have Director Pearson has a question, and then Director Newcomer.
A couple ones. We had an account already that we had borrowed money from. Does this, and then we're repaying back. does this affect that at all, or is this going to merge those all together?
Right now in the fund, after the borrowing that took place a couple of budget years back, there's a little over $1.7 million that the board had set aside for OPEB. And it's my intention to come to a subsequent board meeting and ask for authorization to transfer that into the fund once it's established.
Okay, and then the other second follow-up question was when it says disbursements here, the authority to request disbursements. Once is this a new fund? Not that I don't want to ever borrow against this fund again, but now is it more tied in and it's a little bit more protected? Yeah. In that way, yes. It's kind of actually a better thing. We're forced to put it in OPEB, and we can only pay for medical benefits out of it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. This the fund has specific reasons why the money can be used, and it is no longer, loose that can be solved or used to solve other budgetary issues. It has to be used for OPEB considerations.
I like that.
Okay, good. Director Newcomer.
We identify that the miscellaneous employees cannot exceed the 10.595%, and that leaves us a balance of 1.405%.
Correct.
Is that just an increase the district's going to pick up as a cost of doing business? Where does that 1.4 come from?
Well, the 1.4, like for safety, for instance, it was 13.77 a maximum cap. So when you're at 12% cost sharing, all that money can be done by the employee for cost sharing. And that's where the 10.5 based on our actuary is that we can only pick up on the employer's cost of PERS. So really we wanted to make sure this money, instead of just going into the general fund for the district, into something else, was actually being implemented as the intent of the percentage cost sharing was in the benefit of the employee. So now we get to put it into a fund that'll help us offset costs, in an annuity fashion for future retiree medical or medical contributions in OPEB.
Can I just add this, another simple way is to say that this is employee money, it's coming out of their salaries, and so it's their contribution.
Any other questions?
Just a comment more than a question. I mean, I think it's important that we support this when we've gone and we've asked the senior management, and they've put out $100 out of their pocket for us to they could trust us, I guess, but I think it's better to put it into an account that's secure. And I'd also like to make sure that we repay that previous OPEB fund completely from what we borrowed, as part of our word to the employees that we're going to match this. If we're asking for them, then we're going to match it too and show good faith that we honor our word. So that was just my comment. Thanks.
No further questions or comments. We need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion by Director Monk.
I'll second it.
And second by Director Scheidegger. Roll call, please.
Director Monk.
Aye.
Newcomer.
Aye.
Scheidegger.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Directors Gould, Kelly, Orzali, and Jones absent. Motion passes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. All right. That concludes the action items on our agenda, and we don't have any presentation items. We don't have a president's report. Next, we have the fire chief's report, and we have Chief Holbrook.
Members of the board, thank you.
Fire Chief.
Acting Fire Chief. Christopher Holbrook, Deputy Chief of Operations, acting as Chief this week while Chief Hinkie is out of state. I've got a long list of items to share with you this evening, which is indicative of why you had 10 action items today on your agenda. Before we begin, I'd like to offer condolences to the Porter family and Sacramento City Fire for the passing of Engineer Bill Porter. His celebration of life is tomorrow at 10 a.m. First Baptist Church, 8939 East Stockton Boulevard in Elk Grove. Class A attire is required for active personnel, and I'll have that address available for you afterwards if anybody didn't catch it. On the 14th of April, we attended the Dispatcher of the Year Recognition Awards. Assistant Chief White attended on behalf of the district. On the 18th, the Metro Revenue Finance Committee, which is an ongoing committee looking at increasing revenues over time, met. On the 19th, county chiefs met at Sacramento County Airports. Between the 21st and 25th, a very successful trip to Washington, D.C. with Cap to Cap was undertaken, not the least of which came out was very positive reviews on the simulator project from FEMA. On the 27th, Firefighter of the Year, Tim Beard, was recognized by Point West Rotary. The 27th as well, it was a busy morning for breakfasts. Sacramento County DA Outstanding Citizen Award was made, and command staff attended that as well. The 28th, Roger Mitchell, who is unfortunately gone now, happened to host the Horseless Carriage Club of America, a fundraiser dinner in Rio Linda, attended by not only staff, but Supervisor McGlashan as well. May 1st, we had a regional wildland cooperators meeting. At that meeting, we get together and sort of lay out our plan for the year with our, primarily our CAL FIRE neighbors to the east. An annual operating plan was signed for that. And on May 28th of this month, we are going to declare wildland season, an outcome of that meeting. On the 3rd of May, Sacramento Command Staff attended the 10th Annual Sacramento Police and Sheriff Memorial Foundation Remembrance Ceremony in Sacramento. On the 8th, we kicked off budget planning for the 12-13 budget year, and Command Staff met for a 4-hour budget meeting. On the 9th, 13th Annual Public Safety Community Appreciation Breakfast, again from the District Attorney's Office, and Metro Fire did host a table for that. On the 10th, it was great to see all of you at the Board Management and Labor Workshop at Hurley. Tremendous reviews if you have not seen them on SurveyMonkey. On the 10th as well, Taste of the Little City at Safetyville, USA. Our own firefighter Kevin Summers again won this year, and we do congratulate him. On the 15th of May, we attended the Sac City Council budget meeting, both myself and Chief Hinkie, again to an appreciative audience there. On the 15th and 16th, 2 regional academies graduated, the first with 44 recruits, the second with 35 recruits, attended by Chief Wagner. On the 16th, we continued the 12-13 budget effort and had a all-day budget meeting with command staff, labor, and all division managers. The next day, the 17th of May, a multi-jurisdictional effort was undertaken, and a Type 3 incident management team, the first one in the Sacramento region, was stood up with the efforts of Metro Fire, Folsom, Consumnes, and Sacramento City Fire, and our partners to the east, CAL FIRE, who contributed to that effort. The week of the 19th through the 25th, Chief Hinkie is currently in the Metro Chiefs Conference in Kentucky. We have been in contact with him every day, and I can tell you that he said it is about the most rewarding conference that he has ever attended, and that's quite high praise. So good reports coming back from there. 22nd, Comm Center Board meeting. The 20th through the 26th has been declared Emergency Medical Services Week, and the district did receive a resolution from the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors commending the district on excellence in emergency medical services care. As if that's not enough, we just wrapped up today an engineer's promotional exam, the eligibility list of which is pending. The battalion chief promotional exam, phase 1 and 2, will take place the week of June the 4th. In the last week, we've held WebEx meetings with all 3 shifts and day staff. Coming up on the 29th, we have our next budget meeting, which is Tuesday, coming after the Memorial Holiday, our next budget meeting with command staff, labor, and division managers. We would like you to mark your calendars. Fire camp this year is held in July the 10th through the 13th at Station 21. Questions can be referred to Brenda Briggs or Jason Winter. We would like to congratulate new hires. On April the 16th, Assistant Chief Ray Iverson was hired as the Fire Marshal. On May the 8th, Amy Nygren as an office technician. May the 14th, our own Marie Bernal in the audience as an accounting technician. And May the 14th as well, Ronald Empendrad as our controller. Reinstatement, which I know is a very important issue to this board. February the 27th, we reinstated logistic technician Tim Cronin. April the 30th, Fire Inspector 2, Michael McGee. May the 1st, Fire Inspector 2, Michael Hambrick. And May the 1st as well, logistic technician Katrina Mitchell. Retirements, on May the 1st, we had 4 retirements. Engineer Bob Weber for 25 years, Captain Greg Pryor, 29 years, Fire Inspector Wendy Roof, 25 years, and Firefighter Jim Lampkins, 22 years. The following day, just to be different, Kyle Strickland had to leave, and he had a total of 22 years. Promotions, we have none to report. On May 1st, though, we did reassign Captain Jason Cahill, was reassigned to EMS as a day staff captain assignment. And ongoing, we have currently have a recruitment underway for firefighter paramedic. The final filing date is June 1 by 5 p.m., and those applications are available on our website. With that, I will certainly answer any questions.
Are there any questions of the chief? No questions? Thank you, Chief, for a very thorough report. Oh, we have a follow-up.
My name is Darren Taylor. I'm an Assistant Chief of Operations of A Shift. I'm going to give the operations report with Chief Holbrook sitting over there as the acting fire chief.
Very good.
So good evening, directors. Chief Holbrook, you look very good sitting over there, sir. Since our last board meeting, did I say since 42 days ago, we've had 5,693 dispatches with Metro Fire transporting 73% of the time. AMR had 1,820 dispatches and transported 74% of the time. In that same time period that we've, since we've met you last, the district had 2 near drownings of a 2-year-old little boy that was on the news and a near drowning of a 4-year-old little boy that was on the news. But we're happy to report both children were pulled out of the water from the parents and bystanders. Metro Fire did arrive, provided EMS, and both boys are recovering with no deficits whatsoever. So we did had a really good thing happen right there. A couple of announcements. As Chief Holbrook stated, tomorrow is the celebration of life for engineer Bill Porter with the city of Sacramento. Metro Fire will be supporting City Fire with coverage. We will be sending over 4 fire engines and 1 truck to support their fire station so they can attend their celebration of life. You also heard Chief Holbrook make the statement that Tim Beard received an award. We're also happy to announce that firefighter Tim Beard is back to work on a light duty status. He's going to be reporting to admin and working on some projects for us, and we're all very, very happy for that. On Monday, May 28th, the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District and our partners in the region will be declaring wildland season, so you'll see a ramped up response to all the wildland events as we move into the summer months. And last but not least, Engine 42 and Rescue 21 responded on May 22nd to a reported dog that was barking in a man well. And we have some video clip of it to run for you of the media event that happened afterwards. And as you know, anytime that there's a puppy or a dog involved, it becomes an awe moment. And so we got some great press out of it. So you have the video behind you.
Of a puppy after it's... Firefighters came to the rescue of a pipe and was trapped underground. Happened at a home today in North Highlands.
News 10 Suzanne Fong gives us a closer look.
Hello. It started as a routine trip to the backyard for these dogs. It became a wild adventure for this little gal.
She is an adventurer. She loves to just wander off by herself.
This 11-week-old pup doesn't even have a name yet, but she's already getting plenty of press.
I don't know, like a sewage line pipe?
The puppy stumbled into an exposed sewer drainage pipe in Alyssa Carroll's backyard.
I walked near here and I saw this hole and I hear her barking and I'm like, oh my God, I just started crying. And I was just so upset. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Firefighters from Station 21 came to the rescue.
When we arrived, we found the little guy actually in a man well that we were able to access pretty easily, about 8 or 10 feet below grade.
The pup was stuck underground and ended in a neighbor's backyard because of a connecting pipe.
They could see the dog. They said it was about 8 to 10 feet down. And then they brought a hook and was able to pull the dog out of the hole.
We removed the manhole cover and used a rope and a noose, and the dog was helpful as well.
We were so happy because the dog's like licking them, and it was great. Firefighters are great people.
The good news, after she was rescued, all this little gal needed was a bath. In North Highlands, Suzanne Fawn, News 10.
Good job.
So as I've learned from watching TV, you never follow a puppy because you'll never win. So unless there's any other questions, that'll end the operations report. Have a good evening.
Thank you for that report.
If I may, directors, I would also, I was remiss in not announcing that this evening, actually between the board policy meeting and the board meeting, Walt White, our assistant chief of C Shift, graduated next door, the Rancho Cordova Leadership Academy. So tremendous multidisciplinary effort between the city of Rancho Cordova, Metro Fire, and all of our community neighbors. So great thing as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that report, Chief. Very good. Next, we have a general counsel.
No report.
Thank you, General Counsel. Finally, or next we have Metropolitan Fire District, Captain Ty Bailey. I'm sorry, Local 522.
That's okay, thank you. Ty Bailey, Local 522. Good evening, Board of Directors, Chief Holbrook, and command staff. First of all, I want to thank the Board of Directors, Chief Hinkey, for including Local 522 in the trip to CAP. This was a very beneficial, not only for our union, for our district, for the simulation project that's going on with the grant. And I want to thank you all on behalf of 522. This event allowed our union not only to introduce ourselves to those elected members of our communities, but it also allowed us to communicate what we're trying to achieve currently within our fire district and how we plan to move forward in the future. So I want to thank you for including us on that trip, and I appreciate it. It was myself and Director Cook. Also, Ryan Henry from Sacramento City Fire was present. Next, I'd like to congratulate all the members who retired, and I wish you well in your retirement. As Chief stated, the engineers list was completed today, and I want to personally thank all those who are involved in this process. It's a tedious, long process, and I want to thank training along with those who volunteered their time, and also thank the people who participated in this process. So thank you. We've been meeting currently over the single role paramedic program, and we continue to move forward, and hopefully by next week we'll be able to finalize an MOU, LOU, in which we can move forward with the process. Next, the labor management meeting. The local was part of the labor management meetings that were held, and again, appreciate the opportunity to be involved in that. And I want to thank the Board of Directors again for allowing us to be part of that in the process, and we look forward to meeting in the future so we can continue to have good communication and direction in the direction that Metro is heading in the future. So I appreciate that. Budget meetings, I've asked quite many emails to Rhonda, and I want to personally thank Rhonda and her staff for providing the information that we've been asking her for. I know they've been working really hard with the next year's budget. And being part of the budget process, we're happy to be involved in that, and we look forward to working with Finance and the Board of Directors and Fire Chief in the future. So we appreciate that. Firefighter Summers, as he stated, again, 2 years in a row, he won first place. I'd like to congratulate him. He is an awesome cook. Recently, we took part, not only myself, from labor, but several other members of the district with Chief Holbrook involved in the standards of coverage. And I want to thank you for that opportunity, and we look forward to working with you and having an opinion on the direction that we move in. So appreciate that. Myself and Director Cook attended Susan Peters' reception. For those of you who don't know, she's currently on the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors, District 3. And she invited us to her reception, and we attended. And we want to thank her for reaching out to Local 522 and being part of that. Next, we have Fire Ops 101. For those of you who don't know, the date is June 6th. Jason Carroll, who's a firefighter at Metro Fire, has been tasked from the labor side of overseeing from Metro. And what that is, Fire Ops 101, they're going to have a live fire burn trailer from the region. And we're inviting all the elected members right in front of the state capitol to go down and be part of the fire scenario. They're going to run them through scenarios with full turnouts that have been provided from training, and we appreciate the offer or the hard work that Casantini's done getting the turnouts. It's ourselves, CPF, Local 522, and all the other Sacramento area firefighter agencies around are combining and joining force to be part of that. And that's again on June 6th if you have time. They'll be down there setting up early, and it'll go till, I believe, mid-afternoon. And so far, they have 40 people that have signed up to be part of that from the Capitol. So it's a win-win for us to be part of that, and we appreciate Dan Quiggle from Consumers Fire is the one that's heading it, and I appreciate all the hard work that he's done also. Lastly, what I'd like to end with is, and Jim Doucette asked me to make sure I extended this invitation, and Brian Rice asked that not only do I ask you to attend, but we're almost forcing you to attend. On June 9th, they're having the Tropical Affair Gala, and if no one's heard about this, it's going to be at the Shriners Hospital on Stockton Boulevard, and this is to support our local Fire Burn Institute and also the Shriners Hospital. All money is going to charity, and you can go to the website, the Firefighter Burn Institute of Sacramento website to purchase tickets. They're $60 at the door, or you can buy them online, 2 for $100. So we extend that out not only to the board of directors, but also to the command staff, and we look forward to seeing each of you there. They were expecting 500 total tickets purchased, and currently I don't believe they've hit the 300 mark, so they're really pushing that we get out there and try to get some tickets sold. So, and that's all I have to report tonight if you don't have any questions.
Any questions for the captain? Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Good report. All right. Next on the agenda, we go to committee and delegate reports. The executive committee doesn't have a report. We have a Communications Center JPA, Chief Aaron.
Good evening again. Handful of things going on with the Communications Center JPA. Some of the things of note, we're in the process of continuing the hiring process for a center manager, and we are also currently have began with legal counsel negotiations with the dispatchers bargaining group and also with the supervising dispatchers bargaining group. So those are going to continue for the next months into the summer months, I'm sure. They've started early with the hopes of coming to a resolution before the current contract expires. Our next meeting is this coming Tuesday, right after Memorial Day, the 29th at 9 a.m. at our Hurley building.
For that report, we have no questions. Next, we have California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA. Director Kelly is not here to give a report. I can do that. All right, very good.
Directors, John Wagner, Director of Training, Metro Fire. Since Director Kelly is not here, there has not been a meeting since our last board meeting. There is a meeting scheduled for the 20th of June for that, and we will be probably at that point discussing our gate and fencing contracts. We're getting real close to that to go out to RFP currently.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Next, we have the Finance Committee. Director Monk, you can...
We haven't had a meeting since the last meeting was canceled due to the board management labor strategy planning.
That's right.
Deal, and our next meeting's on June 14th.
Thank you, Director. Finally, on the committee and delegate reports, Director Ozali, the Policy Committee, Director Ozali chairs it. Director Pearson, you have a report?
We met today, and we forwarded that the work schedule policy to you, and our next meeting will be on June 28th here at 5.
Thank you. Next, we go to board member questions and comments. We'll start with Director Monk.
Again, we attended the horseless carriage fundraising dinner. That was a good time seeing the community out there. It's important to me to see the community working with the fire district, and especially a project like we've got out there in the restoration of 111 and Engine 2 out there. And since I started as a volunteer, it's kind of near and dear to my heart. Anyways, and it was nice to see our supervisor out there and have an interest in what we're doing and what they're doing in the community. And that was one of the things that she talked to me about. Was it's impressive, and keep in mind that she is a very, very busy supervisor and constantly going to meetings. But to hear from her that she really appreciated the fire district working with the community and with this group in that restoration project, it's a project that stands out, and she can hold up and say, here's some people that are doing it. So it was nice to see her there, and it was really surprised to see her come across with the donation for the project of the $5,000. So it's nice to see that effort, and I was proud to be the district representative out there involved in it. They do extend an invitation to all of the district board members to come out and see what they're doing and look at the project. And I couldn't emphasize it enough earlier, but Roger Mitchell is very organized in how he's doing things out there, and has a finance plan on everything that they're doing. So as far as detailed records and things, very well done. So proud to support it. And congratulations to all the retirees and all the hard work that the staff and everybody's doing. Mr. Davis, you're doing an excellent job on finding this money to keep us going. Everybody's heading in the right direction, and we just keep plugging along as best as we can. Thank you for the efforts. That's it.
Thank you, Director. Director Pearson.
Oh, well, first off, I wanted to give my condolences to the engineer Bill Porter and his family, and also ask if, with your permission, maybe we close in his honor.
That was going to be my...
I figured you would. And then also, I just wanted to, on a couple of personal notes, wanted to thank everybody for their kind words and the flowers, and on my mom's sudden passing here a few weeks ago. That meant a lot to me and my family. And then also, on another note, a week after that, my son decided he wanted to total his car in SAC Metro's jurisdiction. And I just have to say that he was very impressed with the engine company that responded, and it escapes me right now which company it was, but I did talk to them and their crew. But he said, from my son, who is recently retired Marine, he said that they were very professional, very courteous to both him and the other occupant of the vehicles. So that was nice to know that we're giving that kind of service out there to the community. It means a lot to me, especially when my own family's involved, that happened. And then the board retreat, I attended along with the others, and it's comforting to see how our district works together with labor and management and the board all on the same page. I think it makes it a lot easier, and I think the attorney talked about it, he touched on it a little bit. Because of our staff, they're able to save us some money by taking care of the little stuff themselves, and it doesn't have to get to lawyers. And I think if we continue this cooperative management style, it saves money, and it's more efficient. So I had a lot of fun at the board retreat. Hopefully we will continue those and work on what we came up with. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Scheidegger.
All right, thanks. I just want to quickly focus on a couple of things. First of all, the firefighter grant, yes, Mr. Davis, once again, we were going to have to replace that equipment out of what funds, and the dwindling pool of money is just an issue that we're constantly talking about. We can't operate without this equipment, and again, the hustle of you and your staff is deeply appreciated. Secondly, I'm really impressed with Chief Daniels. Again, the iPad program, the implementation of that, improved record keeping, the things you're doing are fantastic, and this district appreciates it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Newcomb.
I'd like to welcome back Firefighter Beard, even though it is to light duty. I would like to congratulate Firefighter McDade on his airtime and a good image that he presented, and then thank the crews for the work they did out on that call, rescuing the puppy. I'd like to congratulate Chief White on graduating leadership program here in the City of Rancho Cordova. I'd like to congratulate all of our retirees, and then I would like to welcome back our rehires, or our reinstatements, our employees that have come back in. And then I would like to welcome our new hires to the district. And it goes without saying that staff and line personnel doing a fantastic job of trying to keep us above water, positive image out there before the public, and getting their jobs done. So, thank you.
Thank you, Director. I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to warn everybody and extend the, actually, I'd like to let the public at large know that with Memorial Day coming up, be careful out there in the lakes and rivers, because this is like basically the start of the summer season, and be careful out there, and be careful also with the fires. You know, be careful with, we don't want to have any wildland fires and all that kind of stuff going on. So just be careful out there, and wear your life jackets when you're out there in the waterways. Also, a subject that was near and dear to Director Lawson is this United Way toilet paper drive. It's on June 14th, from Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at CalExpo. Nonprofits spend a lot of money. It's a huge amount of money that they spend on toilet paper, and this really helps the nonprofits. So if you, actually it's Fox 40 and the SAC-B are sort of conducting it at CalExpo, and this is just a plug for Director Lawson, because he would have brought that up had he been here. Also, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Bill Porter's, Engineer Porter's family, and we'd like to end the meeting with a moment of silence. And also, thank you all for the senior staff, the guys out there on the line. Thank you for your hard work, excellent reports. Don't need to mention any more about Larry Davis, what an excellent job he's doing out there at getting us those grants that save us all that money during these austere times. That's becoming a popular word now, this austerity thing that's driving everybody crazy. Finally, let's just conclude the meeting with a moment of silence in memory of Engineer Porter. Having no further business, this meeting is adjourned.